What's up nerds, Coach Jim here, and in today's video I'm actually going to take you through my journey from 135 pounds all the way up to 185 pounds. Now, I'll be the first to say this wasn't quick, this wasn't easy, and I made a ton of mistakes, but if you're a bit skinny and want to put on some size, I hope these 7 rules that I go over help you avoid my mistakes and believe that you can do it too. And this leads me to my first rule, which is believe that you can get bigger. I see and hear so many automatic self-defeating conversations from people. Things like, I'm a hard gainer, I've always been skinny, there's no way I'm gonna be able to put on size and muscle. We need to really get over that in our minds before we start anything else. We have to realize that there have been people in the same exact situation as us, and they have overcome those challenges. Now, part of you believes that already. Otherwise, why are you watching this video, right? All right, let's go to the first embarrassing picture. This is me as a teenager, end of middle school, start of high school. At this point, I'm 5'7", around 135 pounds. No surprise that I'm playing video games. So I think about the only thing I was doing right at this point is I had been playing a lot of team sports as a kid. So baseball, soccer, and indoor soccer. So that kept me active, but I definitely wasn't doing much to help build strength and size. Now, what I wasn't doing right at this point was my diet. I was eating chips and soda, maybe my mom's meatloaf every so often. And if you couldn't tell from my haircut and shirt, I was picked on a lot at this age. So of course I did what any kid who gets picked on does. I joined the cross country team. Now this is a picture of me and my teammate who was equally as skinny. At this point, I'm still likely 135 pounds, but I might have even been less in season when we did a lot of running. Now, what I was doing right, I was still being active. And eating, while it was still so-so, was definitely improving a bit. I probably was having more bananas and power bars. Now, what I wasn't doing right here, I was doing a ton of cardio, which that brings me to my second rule, which is don't make cardio the focus. Now, you can and should still do cardio, but if you're looking to put on size and muscle, more of your time should be focused on building strength and eating, which I'll get to in a bit. I continued running though through high school. By the time I hit my senior year, it's about 150, 155 pounds. Now, I think this was the same tank top as the previous pictures, but you can see I filled it out a bit more. One of the biggest changes that I had made was I started weight training. I actually had a weight training class my junior and senior year. I also started doing handstands on my own as a fun side hobby. And this brings me to my third rule, which is do consistent strength work. By that, I don't mean worrying about the perfect routine, and honestly, it can be weights or body weight. Just look to get in a full body workout 3 times a week consistently. It will do so much for you for putting on muscle and size. If you're still not sure what to do though, check out Nerd Fitness Online Coaching. We've helped nerds like Jimmy build strength and muscle with minimal equipment at home. In any case, I went to college, and here in this picture, I'm still about 150, 155 pounds. Things I was doing right here, I continued to lift weights in college, and if you can't tell from this picture, I joined a gymnastics club team. Both these things stressed my body and started building strength, which was great. But the thing I wasn't doing right, gymnastics practice was 3 hours a day for 5 days a week. So I was definitely not eating enough to put on weight there. And this brings me to my fourth rule, which should come as no surprise, which is eat more. I hear skinny people say all the time, oh, I already eat so much. I had this big meal once and I was so full. Well, so what, right? How was your food for the rest of the week or the entire rest of the month? If I was trying to get a tan, I wouldn't expect one long day in the sun to get me there, right? It takes time, it takes consistency. If you're not sure if you're eating enough, start logging it. Keep it simple though. Snap some pictures or carry a notebook around with you and start to look at the trends that you see. Maybe you're inadvertently skipping meals or you're not having breakfast on the weekends or something. And then once you see those trends, try to change them and increase what you're eating. Still not quite sure if you're having enough though? Check out our articles, How Many Calories Should I Eat? And How Much Protein Should I Eat? Both of them have great calculators in order to be able to determine if you're eating the right amounts. Now, beyond numbers and calculators, one of the best things that you can do to determine if you're putting on weight is to weigh yourself. Now these weigh-ins, you want to get around 2 a week to see an average, and you want to take them in the morning after your first bathroom visit. We're looking for a body weight increase of around 0.25% to 0.5% body weight each week. This is going to allow us to increase weight without putting on too much excess fat in the process. I had half figured that out by the end of college and hit around 160 pounds by the time I graduated. Now, After college, I was doing a lot of moving and junk removal jobs. And at this point, I think I actually dropped down to around 155 pounds. What I was doing right here, I was still putting a lot of stress on my muscles. Beyond the daily movement of the job, I was also doing some good basement workouts as well too. But the daily movement for my job made putting on weight really hard. So this takes me to my 5th rule, which is consider your daily activity. Now, if you have a desk job, not much concern. But if you have a physical job like I did, you definitely need to eat a lot more. Let the weigh-ins be your guide. Now, I eventually got my personal trainer certification and started working in a gym and got myself up to around 165, 170 pounds. Now, what was I doing right at this point? I was lifting heavy, I was eating more, and I was sleeping well. And I just kept on repeating that. So all of this brings me though to my 6th rule, which is consistency rules all. No secrets, just months and months of consistent work. The big problem I see is that people will tend to jump around a lot to different programs, or they will start and stop. And if that's the case, you're gonna have a lot harder time putting on muscle, putting on size. If you need help with workout consistency, I also made an excellent video on that. Check it out in the links below. If you're still not sure exactly what to eat, or this feels a little too complicated, sign up for our email newsletter and you'll get a free PDF of our healthy plate and portion sizes. This is a really quick and easy way to put together a plate that'll help you reach your goals. All right, so I worked in the gym for a decade and I continue to push my weight up. At this point in this picture, I'm about 175 pounds. Now, I was still lifting heavy and I was still trying to eat more. Now, what I wasn't doing right at this point, sometimes I just wasn't eating enough. I was walking 5 to 10 miles a day on the gym floor in addition to my workouts. So, had to remember that 5th rule again, to consider your daily activity. Pushing weight upwards at this point was also a bit more challenging and uncomfortable. And that brings me to my 7th rule, which is you have to get a little uncomfortable in not only what you're lifting, but what you're eating. We're pushing our body to new set points, and this is challenging, whether we're moving the scale up or down. And now, to more modern times, I now currently weigh 185 pounds, and I'm actually pushing up to 190 pounds. But during this process, I'm still making sure to check in with myself and to see how things feel at each weight and if I feel good. I'm not just pushing weight upwards indiscriminately. But honestly, if you're at that point, then you're no longer the skinny nerd you once were, so enjoy the progress and success. Thanks for watching, stay strong, stay nerdy. Now go lift and eat.